and see City Hall. Now, this is the center of power for our city. This is where City Council resides, or at least they're supposed to. But they don't even come to work half the time. Just the other night, we had a City Council meeting. You know what? Half of the people didn't even show up that are supposed to be there, that are getting paid to be there to do the work. There were 10 bills that needed to get signed off on or voted on. Nobody showed up. Only half of the committee showed up. Okay, this is a serious problem. This is something that continues to happen. They don't care about you. They don't prioritize you, even though they get a paycheck from your money, even though they're supposed to represent you. They don't even come to work, but they still drawing a paycheck. Could you not go to work and expect to still get a paycheck? No. The craziest thing to me is most of these bills were like simple bills, public works bills, stuff like that. Things that are just rudimentary. So if they really cared, what they could have done, since they're the legislative body, they knew this was coming up. They could have either put it forward and done it earlier, or they could have put it back and done it later. But they're like, ho hum, we don't care. Let's not even worry about it. Are you serious, bro? Are you serious? This is not acceptable, but this is an ongoing thing. Miguel Melendez said, well, you know, we've had a constant issue battling with attendance, and many of the people don't even come to the committee meetings that they're on. That's problematic, because these are the people that are supposed to represent you. They're supposed to represent me, but it's very clear that you don't matter to them and I don't matter to them, but you matter to me. And that's why I'm running for city council this year, and I'll be on the ballot in November. But, you know, you got these people that are supposed to be in here that don't even show up to the meetings that they're supposed to come to. Mary Lupien's all the way in Guatemala. Why are you in Guatemala, Mary? Didn't you just run for mayor talking about we matter and all of this other nonsense? Do we matter? Because you ain't even show up to work, lady. What's up? And you're like, oh, well, we're a legislative body, but we don't do any legislation. You don't say. You don't say. If you follow me for some time, I've always complained that there's never any legislation, especially from the legislative body where we've got so many issues. They don't put any legislation for housing, jobs, the economy. Don't even talk about the crime, right? Can't talk about drugs, right? None of those are issues. And definitely don't talk about the human smuggling and human trafficking in the city, because that's not even an issue, apparently. Hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? These are the issues that are facing us, and they don't do anything about any of it. Nothing. No legislation nowhere. Nobody wants to upset the apple cart. Nobody wants to challenge the status quo. Nobody wants to put good legislation forward or do anything for us to represent us. You mean to tell me that there are people that don't even come to the committee meetings that they're supposed to be at, more or less the full city council meetings, but they still drawing a paycheck and they still expect you to vote them in, and they still expect you to, what is going on here? Where's the representation? They're supposed to represent you. They're supposed to represent me. They're supposed to represent our community. They're not putting community first. Community clearly doesn't matter to them. And this is a continued issue. And this is why I'm fighting so hard and running for city council. So if you care about our city, if you care about our community, and you want to have somebody that really cares, help me out, join my campaign, donate or volunteer. You don't even have to be local to donate. You can donate right on my website, Marcus4Rochester.com. You can also sign up to volunteer. And in November 4th, or in early voting, I'll be on the ballot. And no matter what your party is, Democrat, Independent, Republican, whatever, you'll be able to vote for me. You'll see my name. You just select it. I'll be on the conservative line, but you don't even need to change your party to vote for me. Just click my name. Because this nonsense that's going on here, we can't keep having this happen. We need real elected officials that really care about us, that are actually going to put our priorities first and put us as a priority, because they're supposed to represent you and they're supposed to represent me. Okay? I'm tired of this. I'm not going to stand for it. And that's why I'm running. Help me fight. Go to my website, Marcus4Rochester.com. I'll catch you guys later. Remember, stand up, speak up, and don't shut up. Take action. Be blessed and be well.
Amen. Hey, Marcus, it's been a little bit since I seen you.
Hey, good brother. How's it going? Good to be with you.
Yes. It's even getting worse than before. Running it now. They're bringing in a lot of legals and everything, right?
Listen, it's a little bit of a lot of terrible, you know? And we've got these people that claim to be our representatives in government, and you have to start to wonder, do they even care about the people to represent them at all? Or is it more about their own pockets and who's funding them?
So this
Yeah.
is what we're dealing with here. Just like you said, the illegals. Now most recently we've got a new spring of tyranny from City Hall. I'll tell you about that in a couple minutes.
No, go ahead.
It's
Go
rough
ahead.
here in Rochester.
What are they doing now? I live out in Brockport, so
So just yesterday, they had some people go around and give businesses that are on North Clinton in the barrio some letters talking about, oh, well, Saturday at 4 p.m., you have to shut down your business because of the Puerto Rican festival and because there might be a lot of activity then. So you should shut down your business because we're not going to go after the criminals. We're going to go after your business. And remember, if you don't shut your store down, we're going to fine you, and which is essentially extortion. And this was pushed under this
wait,
concept.
this finding thing. What's the deal on that? How can they legally fine you?
I listen, it's unjust. It's as far as I can see, it's unconstitutional, and maybe it's just a violation of civil liberties, but it definitely seems also unconstitutional as well.
Yeah.
Um, we have many issues here, but that just shows their continued ability to ignore the actual citizens and do what they want to unilaterally. It's essentially they're ruling like they're a monarchy or it's an authoritarian regime. And it's not the first time we've seen them do this type of malarkey either. And that's the worst part. It's a continued repetition of government overreach.
There's been a lot of problems with the Puerto Rican thing when it happens every year, Puerto Rican festival or whatever it is, right?
Well, so you know how they have like soccer hooligans in England and in Europe?
Mm-hmm.
How after like different soccer games or whatever they'll go and
And celebrate.
they'll celebrate, and the celebration always somehow gets out of hand and they end
There's
up tearing stuff up. Essentially, it's that. Now, there's no excuse for destructive behavior, but to
I'm all
punish
for that festival.
businesses,
That's fine. Just don't do that, right?
yeah, but to punish businesses
Yeah.
because you're concerned about outside actors, like that doesn't make any sense. That's like a modern day whipping boy, you
Yeah.
know? Like you're punishing the wrong people that have nothing directly to do with it. And you act like the people there, like, I mean, this is the barrio we're talking about, like you're saying that the people there don't know how people get during during the Puerto Rican festival, and it's not even the Puerto Rican festival because the Puerto Rican festival is at Parcel 5 this year. So it's right in the heart of downtown. It's
Mm-hmm.
just people having their after parties and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They used to have the Puerto Rican parade, but they stopped that. I don't think they're bringing that back because of the issues it caused.
Yeah, wasn't
So,
there some women that got raped and things like that during that, like
oh,
2 years ago? Huh?
I don't remember that. Maybe it's a
2 3 years ago,
possibility.
something like that, or they were sexually assaulted. When they were grabbing and touching them or something. I seem to
Yeah,
remember a little bit about it.
yeah, I'm not even sure, but there's always some sort of arcane activity during that period of time.
Yeah.
So, but to punish businesses
Is it
and
because they're cutting funding and all that? Hi, Vivi. So someone
no,
popping in. So
think about it like this, right? So we used to have the East End Festival that's gone. Okay, they had the Park End Festival that's gone. Okay, all because the organizers decided that they don't want to do it anymore or it's too much headache and there are problems and issues. So we just had the Lilac Festival. At the Lilac Festival, they have problems every year. They had problem this year. They increased the security, and still there were problems.
well,
So
they've been defunding police in Rochester, haven't they?
they have been defunding the police. So according to the official numbers, we're short about 100 police officers. That's bogus. We're short probably 150 police officers.
Yeah.
Because what happened is when people were retiring or transferring, they weren't putting those positions back out as if they needed to be refilled. City council did that. They defunded the police. $5 million they put towards the Police Accountability Board, which was only a thing that they did because it was an election year, which is infunctional and is legitimately illegal by our state constitution. So they're getting paid large salaries and lavish money to do nothing. That was taken from the police. They didn't put it out into public stuff for citizens to encourage kids to stay out of crime and after school programs. They just basically took the money from the police and did nonsense. But more so, worse than that, right, is not just that they defunded the police, but every chance that they have gotten, they've done everything to slander the police, to act like they're not important, to tell them, oh, you're horrible people, and stuff like that. We've got 3 open people on
We
city
keep
council
tying our
that,
hands too.
yeah, we got 3 open people on city council that hate the police. They've created policies that make it ineffectual for the police to actually do policing.
Now
It's
you've
hard.
done some town halls and that. What are you hearing at the town halls? What are the people saying there to you about it?
People want
What kind
more.
of change do they want, especially with the
They
police?
they want more police. They want criminals locked up. That's what the main thing is. You
Does
know,
Rochester have the no bail thing and all that kind of stuff? Everyone
we
gets scot
definitely
free type
do.
out.
We're definitely do. We're because we're in New York State, and it's horrible policy that's harming the citizens and businesses. So you can listen. There's a guy I think that they locked him up is something like 14 or 16 times in like the last not even 3 weeks. It was like last 2 weeks. It was 14 days. He had been locked up over 14 times. So, but each time they let him back out. And this is the problem because the message you're sending to people is that they can do any amount of crime, no matter how much, and they can get right back out. And then don't even talk about raise the age laws, which essentially let anybody under the age of 18 do whatever they want, and there are 0 consequences for them.
Yeah, they
So
should at
you,
least serve a little time, uh,
Mhm.
maybe not as much, but at least some. And some of them are becoming more violent too. It seems like
Oh yeah.
I had a video I'm going to play in a little bit about the shooting or stabbing. Wasn't it stabbing down
Hmm.
by the
Hmm.
Liberty Pole? Maybe you could talk
Yep.
a little
Yep.
bit about that before I play that. What happened exactly and why and all that? Is it illegals or just the whole scene with the crime?
So we have issues with illegals. That's more of a separate problem. That's like a funding issue. Like they've allocated a lot of funds for illegal aliens in our area, and
A
they
lot of
won't
that's
even.
Hochul's fault too.
Mhm. What'd you say?
A lot of it's Hochul's fault.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she put $3.4 billion in the last budget for illegal aliens. That's more than enough to house and feed every homeless person in our state for the year. Every single
Especially the
homeless person.
vets.
Yeah.
Um,
So you mean your priority is illegal aliens over our own citizens? Make it make sense.
well, they want them as new voters. They want to make new dependents so that they'll be voting for them for life.
They do, but it also increases on the census because the way the census works is when they're counted in the
Number of people
census, exactly, which gives them more apportionment of house seats.
districts, yeah.
So,
Like
hmm
New York's going to be losing some of those. You know,
oh yeah, oh yeah,
we'd probably be losing more. Well, the high taxes are going to drive people out. Now what's the city tax system like? Does city have its own separate tax,
trash.
property tax?
Yeah, yeah. The city taxes are trash. In our county, if you take the county taxes plus the city taxes, we're one of the highest tax brackets in the nation for property tax. It's ridiculous. If you're a homeowner, and people will say, "Oh, well, the houses and stuff they cost less." Okay, but the cost of living here is less. This is what you're not understanding.
Yeah.
They don't talk about that. The cost of living here is less, so people that are getting paid less can actually live here.
Yes.
What's happening with the taxes is they just did reassessments. So the city's like, oh, well, we put taxes down, but you didn't really. You made a reassessment. So the tax percentage might be down, but now people are paying more taxes because you increased the amount that percentage comes off of. And
It's
they
driving
playing
some
people in
people out
the
of
face.
the state.
Yeah, it's driving some people out.
Yeah,
You're right.
especially wealthier people. They're the ones that are taking their money and going, and those are the ones that were paying the taxes. You know, and it keeps businesses from moving into Rochester and
Yeah.
building it. Totally. I can't remember, but it hasn't some bigger companies been driven out of Rochester, like parts of Xerox, Kodak, those types of
Mm-hmm.
companies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
There,
it would
there are
nice to be
number of. Mhm.
welcoming them back in. So
Well, two of the biggest things, issues we have in relation to that is we're not a very welcoming business environment here between the
regular.
crime and the regulations, yep, and the regulatory measures. It's not a good place to do business. And then all the taxes, like you've got to hire one employee. That employee has to be making profit of at least 2.5 of themselves, right? So
Mhm.
whatever you're paying to make sure that you have some money and you can actually pay for that employee, whatever they're getting paid per hour, they need to be making 2.5%, not percent, but times profit. So double and a half. And this is something that I think that people don't understand when they push all of this increase the minimum wage nonsense.
I was going to ask
You're
about the minimum wage thing. It, it's your ability to purchase, not
Mhm.
and they're driving up the cost of things. So you raise this up and it goes up. You ever seen that thing in Venezuela there where the money's laying all over the place because they just
Yeah.
kept printing more money, and
Yep.
they'd raise. People were getting $2 million a month, and it's worth less than $2.
Well, this is the problem here. We're in hyperinflation right now. People will say, oh, well, no, we're not because we're not like Venezuela or Zimbabwe.
Not
Whose
yet.
face are you playing in? If you could buy in 1990, you could buy a whole McDonald's
McDonald's.
meal for like $4, in
Yeah.
1990. Here we are now, and you're talking about $20, $30 for a McDonald's meal. How much has inflation really gone up?
I hear you.
So
Yeah, when
these
I first
are,
started working, I was making $1.65 an hour. I'm
yeah,
pushing
and
70, but
well, but it wasn't that bad. It
no, I
wasn't.
know gas was 32 cents.
You could buy stuff, So this
Yeah,
is,
you could go to literally there was an ad that you could go to McDonald's, buy a full meal, and get change back from a dollar. From a
yep.
dollar. it
That
was like ridiculous, It was
listen,
easier.
let's make that the way it is again.
Yeah. I don't know if we can go back there, but we don't want to increase anymore. I don't know if we can go to that level, but we don't need it to the point where the money's useless, worth nothing. I mean, it's laying all over the place and stuff like
Well,
that. Or you don't want to pack them and stack them and stuff like that. So
yeah.
a lot of people are having trouble with rentals and rental properties and stuff there. Did you
Yeah,
want to speak
so
to that?
rental prices are going up, housing prices are going astronomical. I saw a house the
Because
other
of their
day on.
property taxes are going up and the regulations are going up.
Right, and they're pushing. Well, their main goal is because we've got such a high poverty rate of 33%, according to them, based on like it's like $19,000 a month or something, a year or something like that. When really you could be making $40,000 a year and you're in poverty. So I don't know how they really come up with those numbers of what poverty really is, but
Yeah, you
it's
don't want to
not.
be like New York City, which people are leaving like crazy there.
Right. So now we've got all what they're doing is they're marketing our city as the most best, most excellent place. For the other day, I saw it's the best place for gay people to live. It's alphabet people, not gay people. Excuse me, alphabet people. So,
Yeah.
because all of them, right? Not just specifically gay people. So, it's the best place to live for alphabet people. I read an article last night. It's the best place for disabled people. What is going on? What is going on with you advertising our city like this? Because what they're doing is they're trying to promote people from other parts of the country to move here and displace those who are here. That essentially anybody that makes less than $100,000 in the next couple years you're gone. But the goal is to get anybody out of the city that makes less than $250,000. And
Uh,
people need
two,
to be aware. Yeah.
two questions. One was about schools, and the other one was about the illegals coming in, taking away all the resources that would normally go for people like homeless and stuff like that.
Mhm.
What can be done about that if Hochul's saying one thing? Is the city on board with Hochul, or what's the story on that?
So right now, there are many Freedom of Information Act requests that have been filed about how much money is going towards these illegal
They're
aliens
trying to
and where
hide it.
they're trying to hide it. The city and the county, they won't release any information and they say, oh, it's not happening. But they're clearly giving money to these nonprofits that are funding these illegal aliens, right?
NGOs.
Like, yeah, like, and it's right here happening in our face. But the city is a sanctuary city, so we're under threat right now from the federal government. As a matter of fact, I think the attorney general right now got on the TV today talking about, oh, the federal government shouldn't be coming after Rochester. I live here, and I'm kind of like, listen, I don't see the problem with it because we shouldn't be a sanctuary city anyway. We were originally formed as a sanctuary city for refugees. It was never about illegal aliens. So they tried to make it something that it wasn't. And now they're trying to say that, oh, we should absorb all of these illegal aliens. When again, I just told you about the poverty numbers, 33%, and that's just a tip of the bucket. And
It's probably worse
people
than
are
that.
struggling. Oh, it's way worse than that, right? Because those are the official numbers. That's like the school district numbers. Well, it's 65% graduation rate, but we've got a 53% no-show rate. How does that even work? You know, but to your point about the illegals, we've got whole streets, brother, out here that
Someone
are
just
filled
said
up with
that Hochul gave them $50 million for their defense fund or something.
it's it's disgusting. It's despicable. It's a crime against our citizens, and honestly, she needs to be charged with treason. Full stop. Okay, that
I
I
guess
know people.
Teresa James, Pam Bondi's going after her for some of the stuff she's doing in that area.
Listen, I hope so. I just wish that Letitia James would do her job for a change instead of doing everything. She's out here pushing legislation. She's out here
Just trying to
advocating
put
for more.
Trump in jail.
Yeah, she's out here advocating for more money. Well, I mean, at least that is something in the court system, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not in favor of that. But I'm saying at least that's something that's in her actual wheelhouse. She's out here doing all this other stuff that has nothing to do with her job. When we've got all of these people stealing from our citizens left, right, and forward, and all of these scams you hear about every other day, it's a scam or some corruption on the TV in New York State. Where are these
Well,
people going to? Where's the investigation into this? Whatever happened with the Buffalo Billions scandal? What happened with that money? Oh
I
no,
don't
it's
know.
Kathy Hochul. It's Kathy Hochul's husband. You can't talk about that.
Yeah, media doesn't either. You don't have a fair media. Has the media giving you interviews and treating you fairly, or
They're
not
not.
really?
They're not trying to do much of that at all because they're mostly all in favor of who's buttering their bread, and it's the Democrat Party here. It's very repugnant. You know, there are some different reporters that'll even try to cover stuff, and they won't let them put it on the air. They won't publish it or anything.
Did they ever
So
give you an interview or anything like that? And if they
not
do, they
lately
edit.
because their thing was, oh well, it's the primary, so we got to only do the Democrats. And I'm like, well, what about fair time? Oh well, after no, it's not. That's not fair time. Like there needs
Yeah,
we're
but your message should be coming out at the same time. Some people might
we're
decide to switch parties or just vote for you, like you said.
I'm telling you, brother, where is the federal government for me? I need them to sue these people. Like there's
Yeah.
very clearly a breach of fair time. Like that's not how that's supposed to work. And I'm not being like, oh, woe is me or whatever the case is. I'm just stating a fact of reality.
Well, it's pretty hard to run against people that have like 80 times more money than you do, you
Well,
know, especially when they
that
buy votes and stuff like that. I don't think our election system's perfect, in terms of being fair and honest, in our state. I don't know.
oh, definitely not. You look at the state level board of elections and it's all stacked against us. And now Letitia James is in control of all of the elections of all of the major cities. Somebody explained to me how that even happened. You know, what was the point of that even? That's suspect right there. That needs an
Yeah,
investigation.
there's no way she's going to be fair at all. 100%.
I'm
Uh,
telling you. Now
uh,
they're trying to redistrict our area so our Supreme Court seat for our area is only inside Monroe County. They're attempting to gerrymander to consolidate their power. It's
yeah, so
very
they
problematic.
guarantee that seat for them, right?
Yep.
So,
And they're like, and they're pushing, they're saying, oh, we should be a sanctuary city for alphabet people. So all of the alphabet people should move here. Excuse me?
Yeah.
Are they not are they not humans? Are they not citizens? Somebody
Uh,
explain this to me.
to
I
that
thought the
topic,
whole point.
someone's asking about what's your thoughts of trans kids in schools pushing that. The parents at least should know. They shouldn't hide it from their parents and all that kind of stuff.
Well, in New York State, if they're above the age of 12, you don't have to tell the parents anything. So they can get any type of procedure done to them. They can be given
Well,
hormones. They can get
you can't get an aspirin.
no, no, but they can get full on surgery, full
Yeah.
on genital mutilation surgery, and they don't even have to tell the parents. So this is a serious problem.
And then our
Um,
taxpayers are paying for it too. That's one of
oh
those
yeah,
things.
oh yeah, oh yeah, and it's happening in the schools right now. It's not acceptable that they're pushing this alphabetism. I was at a forum with one of the people that's running for reelection, and they were talking, and I brought that up as a point. I said, "Listen, we've the second. Listen, believe this or not, you can go look this up. Can't even make this craziness up. We have the second lowest proficiency rate in the nation. Guess where we are on the rate of how much we spend per child?
Oh, one of the highest, probably just behind
The
California.
second highest, So you make it make sense to me, and you're out here talking about most of the kids, something like 96% of the kids aren't able to read on grade level.
Well, did
We're
you
out
know
here
that there for every 100 teachers, there's 118 administrators?
Yeah, we've got far too many administrators. That's a whole nother problem. But you
Yeah.
mean you want to teach all of this alphabetism and the kids can't read and can't write? First of all, that doesn't belong in the schools. But even if you wanted, you couldn't even, to me, make a good case to put it in the schools when the kids can't do basic reading, basic writing, and basic arithmetic. Come on. More, and don't talk about history. Perish the thought.
Yeah. Well, the only history they teach is hate America. It seems like, you know,
It's
the
very sad.
colonizers or whatever, patriarchy or whatever, you know.
It's very sad. And then Christians are attacked in schools too, but they can openly display all of this Islamic nonsense. Okay, no
They're
offense to
pushing that too.
yeah, but it's a fact. It's a
Mhm.
fact. And this is problematic. But if it's Christians, it's a problem, you know.
Someone
So
asked if you're really, even if you get elected, will you be able to get all the fraud, waste, and abuse out of the school or out of the city budget and stuff like that? First thing is
so
to expose it.
yeah, that's it, that part. So the first thing is transparency, and we need more transparency. If you look at the budget right now, it's something like 460 something pages or whatever. So it's really hard for a lot of people to go through it. But what ends up happening is people
So,
don't
you know,
understand.
there's stuff, a
Mhm.
lot of good, but what it really is going to is what you got to find out. You know,
Exactly. Where at the end of the day is the money going? Who's getting the contracts? How is the work being done? You look at the roads are trash, but they're always fixing the roads. How is that even possible?
they're just patching them. You know,
This is the problem. Now, when it comes to the school system, I was just at the school budget meeting for city council the other day. This was last month, maybe the month before. I think it was last month. And I asked them, I said, listen, I said, what I need from you guys for the budget is I need quarterly itemized reports for the money that you guys are spending. That's what we want as citizens because we don't know where this money is going. The money is always missing. And it's clear that even wherever it's going, it's not being spent effectively. So it will go a long way for us as citizens to be able to see line by line exactly where this money is going. And it's public funds, so it should be open, right? Like it's a public school system. So I said that. So something similar to that for a lot of the
they seem
different
to want to
departments. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
until
They do
somebody
want
asks
to
if you
hide.
ever ran a business or anything.
If I ever what?
Ran a business.
Yep. I own my own business for quite some time. Currently, I do business consulting and development to help other people grow and build their businesses as well. So
Oh,
I'm an entrepreneur. I do that. That's important. I also have a nonprofit organization, which is mostly self-funded right now. We don't have any public money. And we focus on civics education. We do small group empowerment and we also do other things like basic financial literacy and teaching other related courses on self-improvement.
Well, Democrats definitely don't know how to handle money. Look at uh, Harris there with a 1 point some billion, and she was in debt after that whole thing. Where did it all go?
Frivolous spending on basically it's you know what frivolous spending is a nice way of saying that it's really greasing palms, right?
Hmm.
Like we know what happened to the money. You were greasing palms. So and they spent a lot of it greasing palms instead of actually engaging with real positions. They had no positions. And at the end there it was really weird because they started to take all of Trump's positions on stuff and they were
She
trying
did,
to
yeah,
I
yeah.
was
No
like,
tips
wait,
on, no tips, right? No tax on tips.
yeah. I'm like, wait a second. This is what Trump said. And I'm not a big
And
fan
then
of
therefore
JD
the
Vance.
end, right? The leaves
Yeah.
lip.
And I'm not a big fan of JD Vance, but he put forth one position, and the next day Kamala Harris came out with the same thing. And I'm like, what is going on here? You
They
know?
needed to
So
win Nevada, so then they went no tax on tips. I guarantee you, if she got in, that wouldn't have happened.
oh no, they tried to mess us over in Congress with that. The Democrats were fighting to get the no tax on tips pulled from the big beautiful bill
Bill, yeah.
completely. And it was originally going to be $50,000 that was going to be non-taxed from tips, but the Democrats pushed to make it only $25,000.
Oh, okay.
So, yep. So that's not a
Yeah,
conversation that they want to talk about either.
and it hurts the lower and middle class. What they're happening is they're trying to shrink the middle class. They want the poor and the rich, and that's what they want. They don't want a
Yep.
middle class. They
The
totally.
have and the have-nots. Yes,
And they've been
sir.
shrinking that with no Kodak and that. Someone asked if that you could ever get like a Kodak back in Rochester. It would have to change a lot on the regulations and everything to get that to happen,
Yeah.
right?
So I'm a big deregulation person. A lot of that would have to come from the state, but we also do have serious issues with the permitting and the codes here in the city, and those need to be
Building
completely
permits
gone
are hard
through.
to get, I guess.
Oh, it's hard. They're a pain. Most of the ways that it works, a lot of the policies are so arcane. They're like from 150 years ago, like stuff that's still on the books. And it's hurting our development, especially if you're a homeowner. They've got all of these things that you can't do on your own property. Who are you to tell me what I can't do with my own property?
Yeah,
You're already making me rent my own property back that I paid for.
I
Like,
wanted to put a little roof over my steps out here, and I had a long time just to get a building permit to build a little roof over top of the thing. And
listen, but if you're
I do construction for a living, and
but if
and
you're a huge big business, it's everything goes streamlined for you.
well, the guy finally quit. Was asked to resign and resigned, and the other one gave it to me in 3 minutes. After
Good.
it was a real pain. I guess he was looking for a little bit of money. Those types of things. Somebody asked you about your radio show. You're on radio, I guess.
Yes, I am. Mondays, 2:30 to 4 p.m. It's called The Divide with Marcus C. Williams. If you're in the Rochester area, we're on 106.3 FM WRFZ. So check me out on there, or you can go on my website, on my YouTube, the Marcus C. Williams channel, and you can
Okay.
follow my YouTube, subscribe there. All of them are there. They're all there as a podcast playlist also. You can tune in. I cover stuff that's going on here locally and nationally as well as internationally that's newsworthy and largely related back to issues that are affecting us as American citizens and us in the community.
I guess someone listens to you. They asked about you don't have to live in Rochester to donate to you, right?
No, you don't have to live in Rochester to donate, and you can donate right on my website. I encourage you guys, please, if you're
I've got it
listening to
scrolling
me,
across. Hopefully, that's all correct there that I've got up there.
let's see. Yep, it's marcusforrochester.com. Yep. And you can do marcusforrochester.com/donate. That's it. Bing, bang, boom. You can donate right on my website, however much you want to. Every little bit helps. Because I am going against these people who are completely against our citizens here. We've got this situation where we've got three socialists, open socialists, that are on city council
No, so
right now.
New York City.
Yeah,
that
it's almost like New York City, right? It's a
kind
problem.
of sun in there, boy, I tell you.
We got three open socialists. And now we've got a fourth one that just won the Democrat primary. So we've got to knock at least one of those people out this year. And they're all much better funded because, we this is what we're up against here. So I
Can't
encourage you,
name one country where socialism ever worked more than the first year. They eventually run out of other people's money.
well, the problem with
They want to
socialism.
own nothing and be happy.
That's exactly the direction that they want you to go. That's why everything's rental now, even if it's a new build.
Hmm.
So that's the big issue though. Socialism doesn't scale, right? Like they want communism. The goal of socialism is to establish communism as a form of government. Socialism is a philosophical ideology. Communism is the actual implementation of socialism, and a lot of people don't seem to understand that. But that's complete government control over every aspect of your life. Where you go, what you can do in business, where you can live, all of that. And the government owns everything and tells you exactly what to do on everything. And these people are trying to say, oh, well, it doesn't matter what you want. We're going to do what we want anyway. Well, wait, hold on, pause. That's not how we're supposed to be as a nation. But these are people that we got on city council right now. And we got to get them out of office. That's why I'm working so hard so that there can be some counterbalance to what's going on.
Now, you don't run against an individual. You run to be one of the top certain people to get onto the
Yes.
board. That's how it works. It's not like a
For
particular district. It's all of Rochester you're representing, right?
Right. So it's an at-large seat. It covers the whole city of Rochester. There are 5 at-large seats available this year. So as long as I get in the top 5, I will have one of those seats.
Has there been any polling or any on the ground idea of how it's
Wow.
going, or
Well,
nothing like that?
it's going pretty good. What it'll end up being is it'll boil down to getting the message out. That's why the donations are so important for the
And
advertising
doing
and the
things like
marketing.
this.
Yeah, and doing things like this to get the word out because we need to get the word out that I'm running, that there is somebody that's willing to stand for our community and focus on the important things like housing, like public safety, like the education system and business and the jobs. Where are the businesses and the jobs like you were talking about bringing Kodak or somebody here?
We
The
need a
issue
few
is,
big companies like that, and then other companies feed off from it. Other jobs feed off of that.
yeah. And the thing is what we need to focus, all of those are homegrown companies.
Hmm.
So we need to be focusing
Kodak
on
is
growing.
from Rochester.
Yeah, we need to be focusing on growing here locally, not trying to bring big businesses from outside in. We need to focus on investing in our local entrepreneurs, our local small businesses, because we already know that 86% of all employment in the nation is in a small business.
Okay,
Okay.
so
And and yeah, so that's an important fact. And then we also know that Rochester is a hotbed for innovation and people that are passionate. So if we focus on that, we will not only create more jobs, we can create the next huge multi-billion dollar company right here.
oh yeah. Someone asked if you were from Rochester originally. I think you've always lived in Rochester, right?
I've lived in Rochester pretty much all my life since I was very little. Since I've been about 5 years old, I've been in Rochester. I went to all city schools. I graduated from city school district. So when we talk about how the city school district is going, yeah, I know. When I was in school, it wasn't good, and it's gotten progressively worse every year since then.
Did you
So
go to
yeah,
McKay? I think there was two schools that combined Thomas and McKay or something. I forget which ones.
listen, they changed the school's name so much because the schools are so underperforming. We've got schools every single year that almost go into receivership with the state because they're
Part of that's that there's a
underperforming.
lot of individuals that aren't part of the tax base.
Oh, did I lose you? Are you there? So I'm not sure. You're back. All right.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button. I was trying to
Ah.
change and I hit the wrong button. My bad.
So yeah. So no worries. So yeah. So what we've got is we've got schools that are closing and they reopened with a whole nother name because every time that they shut down and open with a new name, it's like you're opening a new school. So they get $1 million extra bonus for changing the name on the school. It's like putting lipstick on the pig. It's terrible.
Collins from Scotland, he says that you should see what's going on in Ireland. So much worse than what we're dealing with. We don't want to get to that point. Is what's happening in England, you know?
Exactly, because we could talk about how we've got all of this anti-Christian hate that's going on here, and they don't even talk about it. Okay, I've been trying to get them to actually acknowledge it on city council and stuff. There's no, you don't hear about it. You don't hear about it. But Christians are continually under attack. We're discriminated against here, you know. And who's going to say anything for us? Nobody. Why is that? Well, clearly there's an agenda against us, and that's problematic when we've got people on city council. We got one preacher on city council and like 5, 6 people that profess to be Christians. So, I mean, and you won't speak up for Christians. This is a problem. Then you talk about the illegal aliens. So it's not as bad as it is over there because we weren't as ethnocentric as over there, but it's still pretty bad, you know? And
Well,
we
no one
got to
even
go
wants
back.
to go to Midtown Rochester anymore. It used to be a booming place. There's no Midtown
It's
anymore. There used to be a mall down there. Remember?
Yep, there used to be a mall down. It was the first indoor
Used to be
mall
a
in
Trane
America,
there,
in the
right?
world. Matter of fact, first indoor mall in the world. I
Oh,
don't
I
know
used to
how there's.
love when I was a kid. What the Christmas stuff they had there, was
Oh
incredible.
yeah, that and the monorail
Yeah,
and the Santa and stuff. Yeah, it was really a big deal. They had McCurdy's and all of that other stuff, and
it's
it,
probably
it
out
was.
of your district now. Like Sea Breeze has gone way down, and all
Oh
that.
yeah,
It's hardly even
yeah,
there now. What's left of it, it used to be a lot bigger and stuff. They used to
yeah.
have more rides and everything. I wanted to bring up this. You were the other day at the Liberty Pole, and that
Hmm.
something about stabbings.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, right downtown, right
yeah,
downtown.
I'm gonna
Let's
play
check it
this. You
out.
can talk during it if you wish. Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead, play the
Hey
video.
everybody, Marcus C. Williams here, and we're right here downtown, right at Liberty Pole. So just the other night, 2 older men in their 50s were stabbed up. Stabbed up, blood everywhere, looked like a grotesque horror scene. It was so bad right over there, they had to have the fire department hose down the street because there was so much blood on the sidewalk. Crazy work. Did city council say anything? No, they're silent. The crime, the violence, nobody will say anything on city council. They ignore it. And that's why I'm running for city council, because you matter to me, and it's clear that we don't matter to them. They don't address crime, they don't talk about it, they don't say that there's any issue. And we continue to have stabbings going through the roof. We have robberies through the roof. We just had a mugging last night of an old lady at the hospital. We have all of
Mhm.
this stuff continuing to happen, and they won't even say boo about it. So if you're tired of this nonsense and you want somebody that's going to prioritize our community and put community first, check me out. Go on my website, donate, volunteer, Marcus the number 4 Rochester.com. That's Marcus the number 4 Rochester.com. And donate. You don't even have to be local to donate or volunteer. And November 4th is election day. Make sure that you vote for me, Marcus C. Williams. Anybody from any party can vote for me, Democrat, Independent, Republican, whatever, it doesn't matter. You can vote for me. I'll be on the conservative line, and you don't even need to change your party to vote for me. So I'll catch you guys later. Remember, stand up, speak up, and don't shut up. Take action. Be blessed and be well.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. I
Yeah.
think.
So,
Oh, we lost your mic for a second, but it came back. Okay, go ahead.
all right. Yeah, that was wild. I mean, but this is just a
They used to
small
be one of the
proof.
safest places at one time.
We were, we were, and now we've got the mayor's like, oh, crime is down, and city council doesn't even
They just start
acknowledge it.
recording it,
They stopped recording it. You're 100% right. That's what
and
they
they've
did. They
changed some of
stopped.
the rules on what is a crime and what isn't too.
Exactly. Reclassification. Now, if the police don't come out, you got to go downtown and you got to file a police report downtown. Nobody's got time for that. You know, a lady told me the other day, she was like, she had been mugged, and she said she called the police, and she said that they didn't show up. She said she's still waiting. You know, I mean, and this is the problem.
Well, part of that is less cops. Part of it's that, and also they know that nothing's going to happen even if they do something. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like they broke into my car, and I called the police, to tell them, hey,
Oh,
you
so
need
you've
to
been
come out
robbed
here.
too.
Yeah, they need to come out here and fingerprint the car or whatever the case is. And they're like, but they were like, okay, we'll send somebody. We're talking 5, 6 hours later, nobody still comes. So I'm calling. I want to speak to a sergeant. I want to find out what's going on. I'm like, y'all need to send somebody out here. Time I get somebody out here, they're like, oh yeah, we don't even fingerprint this type of stuff. I'm like, are you serious? And
They
how do
kind
you
of let
catch
it go.
yeah, well, because the police can't do anything. And I
Yeah.
feel bad for the police. They're like, "Oh, well, we really know a lot of the people that are doing this. We just can't hold them." And I'm like, "Dang, that's really messed up because look at how it's impacting me personally. Look at how it's impacting our community and our citizens and our businesses." You not and then they're like, "Well, the people are all under 18 anyway, so they'll just get right back out." And this is a problem. The mayor got on the TV. I want to say it was in the beginning of the year. And he was like, yeah, and we know who all of the people are committing all of these crimes. And we've got our eye on you. No, lock them up. Lock them up. They need to be in jail. But because the city council refuses to call out the state assembly and the state senate on the laws like the bail reform and the raise the age, and they refuse to do anything on the local level by by adding legislation or changing legislation to actually do something about these criminals. Nothing gets done. The police can't do anything. And how many days can you go to a job being fed up that you're not even able to do the job that you're supposed to do? Like
I
that's got
agree.
to affect morale bad.
I agree.
Like
So I want to ask you about dropout rates of black males in schools. What can be done about that?
so, as far as dropout rates go, one of the biggest issues that we have right now is that the schools are failing to educate our children. Right,
They're
like I
passing them
mentioned earlier.
along without really learning something.
Well, we can blame George Bush for that, okay? No Child Left Behind, and then it's continued since there's been other subsequent bills that have been put in place to make sure that they keep pushing the people forward, especially on the state level. They're getting rid of the Regents exams this year because they don't want because nobody's
They
passing
want
the
to
Regents
fail.
exam. Yeah, everybody's failing, so this is the problem. But
That's sort of like
what
the
we
crime thing. If they don't record it as a crime, then it goes down, right?
Exactly, exactly. So what we're seeing is the educational system isn't providing the children with a real reason to believe that what they're being taught is going to be able to be used in open society. So if it's not able to be used in open society, then what is the point in even going? What is the point in bothering? And they see around them is destruction, death, and sorrow because of the way that they've set it up. And there's no point for them in trying to matter of fact, what's the guy's name that does the investigative journalism? Um,
Um,
oh,
I know who you're
um,
talking about.
you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah.
Yes, trying to think of him
Um,
too.
anyway, why is this? I can see his face. It's slipping my
Yeah, he
mind.
got thrown out of his own business and started his own again.
So, but anyway, we need an expose like that.
Yeah,
The Veritas people. What's his name?
Veritas.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
James
But
O'Keefe.
anyway, yeah, we need a Veritas thing on these people. But we got to have Berkeley Bean here is one of our local reporters. He does like in on the street interviews and stuff like that and quasi investigations. So, but he did one with interviewing youth on the street, just regular everyday youth, and asking them what were their feelings about the crime and the stuff like that, and do they see any future. They're out there. He interviewed like an 11, and I think the other one was 12, and they said we don't see any hope for the future. We're just waiting to die.
Oh,
And I'm like, that's terrible. Like you're so young and you're waiting to die. Like that's it. That's all you got. But again, that's the school system not giving them any real reason to believe that they can achieve anything or that what they're being taught is
hi, Bonnie.
effective.
Sorry,
Hmm.
I was answering to someone. Wow,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot different than when I was a kid. It's totally. I took Regents course because I wanted to be a shop teacher, but then I dislocated my shoulder. And then
Ah,
sports. It seems like the sports have gone down in Rochester too, in terms of
yeah.
they're combining teams at these schools and things like that.
Less people want to be on sports teams. There's less money for sports and after school activities. That's another problem. I had to push the city real hard this year to actually put more funds towards tutoring at rec centers because there was no funding for the tutoring at rec centers. So I was like, I don't understand how there's no funding for tutoring for rec centers. I grew up in the Boys and Girls Club, right? I grew up with Swan, so they had tutoring there. And I figure that these rec centers are the same type of situation, so they should have tutoring. And they were pushing back against tutoring in the rec centers. They were like, oh, well, that's the school's job. And I'm like, clearly the schools aren't working, so city council needs to put this together so we can make it happen. But, sometimes it'd be just too much like right.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think it makes sense. This is your website. I'm scrolling down through.
Yep.
Any thing in particular? Now, are you getting backing from the police and stuff like that, and or any endorsements that you want to speak of?
So not at this time, but so I am very close with them as far as encouraging them and stuff like that. But there aren't any. I don't have like the trade unions and stuff like that because they're all go to the Democrats and so forth. But also, it's very skewed. But we saw a lot of people that were in the trade union at the trade union endorsement for the Democrats in the primaries that lost. So that was also another very interesting thing.
Mm.
So
I-
I'm out here, I'm working for the people, the everyday people. So please support me. If you don't like the way that things are going, if you're tired of watching elected officials that treat people like crap, even if you're not local, donate to my campaign. Marcus, the number 4rochester.com. You can go right on there, click donate. Takes a couple moments. And there's also a way to send a check is if you want to send a check. There's information on there to do that. Yeah.
When you get to events, which events do you have coming up? You have this is one that already happened.
So those were two that already happened. We got some more events coming up that'll be up there in the next week or so. I'm setting them up in different locations right now. So we are
Is it
securing
ones
the.
that you'd want me to come there and go live, or no?
Yeah, you can come there and go live. We got a fundraiser we're gonna do. We got a couple of community things we're gonna do. So it'll be fun. Definitely come out and go live.
I've already done one when you were at Liberty Pole a few years back.
Mhm.
Ken and Joy was at it and stuff like it. It was hot as heck. It was very
Yeah.
hot that day.
Oh
But,
yeah, but we still got a lot of people out, and that was a
yeah,
blessing.
we did. Yeah, it was
That
a
was
good
a
event
blessing.
and stuff like that. I forgot what was going on with big. Oh, it was during near the end of the China virus
Yep.
thing that
Yep.
was going on. It was a lot
Mhm.
of people against that, and that's pretty serious. So, well, so have you got any? Maybe I could. You had some videos. I should go back to the menu. Here, I'll play another one if you want.
Yeah, if you go down
Volunteer
to
events, Marcus,
if you just go down, click the home button,
home button.
yep, and then scroll to the bottom. You'll see some of the videos there. I got to put some of the newer ones on there as well.
Oh,
But
this keeps you really busy. What made you run?
I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Sick of these people playing in my face and in the face of my community, not addressing our issues while they're stuffing their pockets and while they're just completely not showing any level of concern for us, and they're supposed to be our representatives. So to me, it's the fact that this is supposed to be they're supposed to be our representatives. They're not supposed to represent themselves. And if we've got all of these issues that continue to be issues, I like to use the potholes as the best example, right?
Mhm.
Like the potholes are terrible. The potholes have been terrible my whole life, and from what I'm hearing, for decades.
Yeah,
So if you
and it
aren't
breaks
even
your car.
yeah, yeah. It messes up your car, and who does it affect? The working class and those in poverty the most. But if they won't even fix those right, and that's a small thing that everybody experiences and everybody knows about, how much more so the more important things?
Somebody asked how is the public transportation in Rochester. Obviously they're not from Rochester.
Um, to be generous, it's aggressively mediocre.
Hmm.
That's what I can say. Over the years, they've changed the bus routes and they've cut back on a number of bus routes. We were just fighting for our veterans to get a bus stop out at the new VA clinic that they have on Calkins Road because they stopped the buses that go over by there some time ago. So thank the Lord that they just added a shuttle service specifically for that. So we had a great victory there. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord on that one. And but regular the transportation is an issue. But more so what's an issue is this traffic constraining that they're doing. They want to call it traffic calming. Rochester's zero vision future for zero accident deaths. It's nonsense. What it is the limitation of freedom of mobility, because what they want to do is they want to push you away from owning a private vehicle. That's what it is.
15-minute
Okay.
cities.
15-minute cities. Thank you very much. You know what I'm on about.
Yeah.
So it's 15-minute cities.
They
And
don't
then
want you to have a car in Rochester?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
They've got all of these.
maturity.
Oh, listen, brother, all of these different lanes. We've got lanes that used to be 4 lanes. They put them down to 2 lanes. You know what I'm saying? They got these crazy bike lanes with medians and all types of medians and all types of other nonsense going on. And they're like, oh, well, it's good for the bikers. Who's biking in Rochester? Explain it to me. I bike. You're not doing it.
Well, I'm 7 years old. I don't bike so much anymore.
No, but they're not doing it for me, right? Like I bike for transportation. You're doing it for cyclists, people who bike for fun or exercise. So that's a very small fraction of number of people. If they really wanted to do something,
people into it, kind of.
That's what the
and
goal.
We have bad winters here, so it's not so nice biking during. And it can
listen, they messed up my bike during last winter because they don't plow the snow.
Wow.
So this is a problem. This is a problem. Listen, don't even get me started on snow plowing in general. Like, where's our money for the snow plowing? We're a snow heavy city and they don't plow. Listen, I've talked to the people that do the plowing, the people they contract with and stuff like that. They say, listen, it's not us. We only come when they call us to come out.
Yeah.
So don't get me started.
And the fuel costs and everything were up there a long time during the Biden thing as well. I heard that Hochul also wouldn't allow salt to a lot of the. She was limiting the amount of salt that everyone could get because of the environment or something.
It's a whole crazy bit of nonsense, is what it really is, and it just goes to show you how little their focus is on us and how much their focus is on doing everything that they can to constrain. Yeah, they want to get rid of us. They want to get rid of us. They want to push us out to the middle of nowhere, like the Elmo
cities. You know.
Yep. Well, they don't even want us in the 15-minute cities. They're going to have us on the outskirts.
In Hong Kong, they got that, and they put them in these high rises. Every day, 2 to 3 people jump to their desks.
Yeah, it's going to be like
they get 18 square feet to live in.
Yeah, it's going to be like Puran City.
25 people sharing the same bathroom.
That's right.
It's government run, though.
Yeah. You know, because China's so fantastic, though. That's what I think.
Socialism. So where did it work? I'm trying to figure that out. Didn't work in Venezuela or Cuba or even Russia. They turned away from it. That they're less communist, than they were.
It's crazy.
So heading toward that. Now, have you been able to turn some of your family red-pilled? Or I should ask you first. Were you once on the left?
Well, I was, but the problem is I was never left. I was always conservative because I was raised in the church. I didn't know. Everybody else was registered Democrat, so I registered Democrat when I first registered to vote. But in high school, everybody was telling me I was a Republican, and I didn't know anything about politics. So I was like, I'm not.
No, because that's racist, right? They scream racism, right?
So apparently. So long story short, short story long or long story short, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
I ended up years later, the Lord told me to get involved with politics. He told me I was mad about what was going on in my community. So I reached out to my city councilman, who happened to be Adam McFadden at that time. And he had ended up being in trouble because he stole a whole bunch of money from the poor people and the housing, which was my biggest concern. I didn't like the way my community looked like it was going backwards. All the drugs, all the crime, and all the housing issues.
If thing's all one party, it always corrupts.
That's right. Well, one party rule is good for a whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah,
That's the biggest issue.
yeah.
It's good for a whole bunch of nothing, and all it does is cause pain and anguish to the citizens. And a few people it benefits, but largely it doesn't benefit anybody. So that year, I end up getting involved in running for city council because there's a longer story there for another time.
hmm
But that showed me how bad the Democrats treat other Democrats, and I had to do some soul searching and say, wait a second, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I shouldn't be involved in this political party, you know, because that year, what really kicked it off was after that election cycle. Trump got in office, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna end DACA,"
He
and the
used to be a
Democrats
Democrat too.
he as far as I'm concerned, I'm way conservative, brother. I'm the
Yeah.
king. I call myself the king of conservatives. I am the New York's voice for New York's conservative voice. Okay, but I don't consider Trump to be a Republican. He's a
He's more
Democrat.
popular.
He is, but he's a Democrat from the '90s, from the early '90s. It's the party that's gone completely awry. And I'm glad that he's found his roots in populism because he's really sticking to a lot of the values and stuff that I believe in and the policies that I believe in, which is a godsend for me. So I like a lot of the policies. But see, people say, oh, well, you're all for Trump or whatever the case is. I like the policies because
Mhm.
the policies is the same policy that I had before. I knew that Trump
Yeah.
was going to run for,
And
so,
he didn't get into it to get rich like a lot of these politicians.
well, he gave away his whole salary in his first term. I don't know if he's doing that now,
Yes,
but
he is.
yeah,
He's taking a dollar. He has to take a
yeah,
dollar,
yeah.
and he
So,
donates that dollar.
yeah. So it's like it's crazy. But when he got in there and he said he was going to shut down DACA, and the Democrats, Chuck Schumer, my senator for my state, Chuck Schumer, got up there with Nancy Pelosi and was like, "We're shutting down the government because Trump won't allow illegal aliens to stay. That we promised we were going to do something about." What do you
Yeah, they
mean?
were putting them up in New York City in free hotels, $700
Well,
a
no.
night.
So this is the Dreamers, brother. This is the Dreamers. So
Mhm.
they were supposed to, Trump's whole time running, he was like, you guys need to do something about DACA. You need to do something about comprehensive immigration reform. When I get in, I'm going to stop DACA. That's what he said. So then he got in office. He said he was going to stop DACA, and they shut down our government for illegal aliens. So that really made me look at the party. I'm like, well, this party must not be for me because I'm a black man. They've never shut it down for the plight of black men. Okay. They never shut it down. Hurricane Maria had just hit Puerto Rico, so Puerto Rico still never got over that. They're still messed up now. So they didn't shut
Well,
it down
Hillary
for
went in and raised a lot of money, but didn't get to them.
she built up her own little fortress there. Don't even talk about Haiti either.
Yeah.
We won't talk about either of those things though. But they shut it down for illegal aliens, and I said, I got to do some soul searching because I don't think that this party represents me. So I
Mhm.
did. I went around to a whole bunch of different parties, and because at the time that was right before Cuomo got rid of all the other parties, and I'd looked into the Green Party, the Sam Party, all these other parties, and none of them quite fit. The last one I went to was a Libertarian Party,
hmm They
and I
believe
was
in legalizing drugs, though. That's a problem that I have with them.
well. I'll get into that in a second,
Uh,
but. It was going great. It was going great until the last question that they asked me. They say, do I believe that people are basically good or basically bad? Now, I'm a Christian. So I was like, I was like, that's a crazy question. People are basically bad. They decide to be better. It's like a small child. Their base interest is self-interest. But as they become socialized, they see that their own personal self-interest might sometimes need to be set aside for other people's interests and the group to achieve the best result for themselves. So
Mhm.
when they told me that, they said that that's more Republican. I said, let me go check these Republican people out.
And all your friends and relatives say, "Oh, they're all racist," because that's
So
all they hear on news media.
Listen, I ran into when I asked into the Republican Party. I asked them. I got the right person. Okay, his name is Bob Zerby. Great guy. I did an interview with him, and we were like, yeah, yeah. We were going back and forth. Yeah, we were having a great conversation,
Mhm.
and we were
You're
having it at
talking
a
issues,
coffee.
right?
Yeah, like so we were all aligned. We were aligned on everything, and I was like, yeah. I was like, man. I was like, yeah. Then we had this girl tried to get in our conversation, and because we were at a coffee house, this girl got into our conversation, and then we were going back and forth with her, and we might have changed a little heart and mind there that day,
Oh,
you
her too,
know.
huh? Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, I was like, man, this must be the party for me. So I joined the Republican Party, and I've been a Republican ever
Are
since,
you
and I will
seeing
never.
more in your community leaving the left?
Yeah, a
Well, that's
lot of
good.
people, a lot of people are going independent. Um, I'm trying to get more people to realize that they are conservative and their values are conservative, so
I'm
that we can
surprised
get them
the
in.
pro-life
Mhm.
issue in the black community. They too much for the abortion issue because it's killing a lot of babies.
What are we 75 million, something like that?
Yeah,
Murder
we
of
wouldn't need all
abortion.
these illegals in here if we hadn't
If
aborted
we
all the
did.
kids.
Listen, okay? Did you see when Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi got up there and they were like, "Oh, we need the illegal aliens because we're not having enough
Who's
children."
gonna wash your things and this and that?
No, this was before
One
that,
was saying
brother.
there, "Who's gonna wipe your butt?" I'm gonna wipe my own, thank you.
That too, but this was before that. They were like, "Oh, because we don't have enough population, we don't have enough kids." Well, you telling everybody to kill their kids?
Yeah, and
What?
then you're losing several generations after that. Those kids that they would have had.
Mm-hmm.
Remember? Sorry. So
Yep. But yeah, so a lot of that is more federal and stuff like that. So it's
yeah,
not city council wise. So it's not much I can do about that there.
well, that has
But
to do with being Republican or Democrat in your
yeah,
area.
yeah,
Some of the
and
people just automatically go in there and pull the D lever no matter what.
well
You
for
have to
6. Mhm.
headwinds there. You got to fight. And that has to do
Yeah,
with
well,
name recognition.
no, it's not even name recognition. That's a bigger problem. So they've been conditioned to vote all row A for 60 years. For
How
60
come they
years
get
they've
the
been
top
told.
row? Because there's been studies that people tend to vote near the top of the ticket, no matter where you. If your name's near the bottom, you're less likely to win.
Yes. So that's a big issue. But they get that because they're the party that's in charge of the governorship. So that's how that works. Whoever's in charge of
Oh,
the
okay.
governor gets
So
the
when
top word.
Pataki was in, it got switched, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
not that he was a great governor, but he might have been better than Como or Coco.
Listen, they should. They should. Well, I mean, you know who we messed up on. We messed up on Elliot Spitzer. We let Elliot Spitzer go. We should have kept him. You
Mm.
know, when I found out why he got out of office, that they got him out of office because he was spending money on his mistress. I was like, oh. And then I found out he was spending his own money on his mistress. I was like, that's none of my business. I was like,
Not
that's
so
between
much.
him and his wife.
It
I was
wasn't
like,
taxpayer dollars, is what you're saying, yeah.
right. I'm so
What'd you think of what's his name, Zelen or
Zeldin.
Zeldin? Yeah. What'd you think of him?
Yeah, I just saw him a couple weeks ago. He's the head of the EPA now. I
Mm.
think he's doing a good job there. I'm very proud of him.
He would have made an
But
okay governor, right?
he would have been okay. Yeah, I think if he would have. The problem is our county, Monroe County, and Erie County really messed up the vote there. He could have won if he won here, but we got to get
He didn't
stronger
come up here
here.
and campaign enough, probably. Stuff.
Yeah. I don't think that was strategically done enough. Plus, a lot of people weren't really for him up here. There were a lot of people that were trying to push Giuliani, and they weren't very happy that he got the nomination instead.
Oh.
Giuliani, the son, for those who are not familiar.
Rudy Giuliani. He made a pretty good mayor, I thought. Rudy did.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Definitely, definite improvement, especially on the crime, which you could definitely use more of. If they didn't have this no bail stuff, those are repeat offenders a lot, totally. And
Yes.
that's definitely harming, and it keeps people from going out, and it hurts the economy too.
100%. It
Yeah,
hobbles the economy.
Greg's saying that they want these illegals for really slave trade. You know, they're using them almost like cheap labored slaves. You know, and that's true. And that
That's
hurts
very
the
true.
black community getting jobs that would normally be the entry jobs to move up. The uh,
It,
black men's when they first get out of high school, you know, and that is a problem with them not graduating. You know, they and what they're graduating the diploma worth. Did you see there was a black woman that graduated and high school with high honors, and she couldn't read. She was
oh,
using
I
talk to text.
was that Baltimore? Well, I think that was she was from Baltimore, right? That's what
Yeah,
that was.
you did see something about that. And I said, "How is that
Yeah,
possible?"
yeah.
But you can do the talk to text, so it could read her the stuff. And
She's suing the school district.
I
She's
don't
because
blame.
she's in college and now she's failing. So she's suing the Baltimore school district over that. Crazy work.
How do you
So
go all the 12 grades without being able to read? That sounds
listen,
impossible.
I have a friend who is a college professor here in the Rochester area that teaches English.
Mhm.
And they're just like, listen, no. I'm like, it's that bad. They're like,
There has
it's
to be written
worse.
tests, doesn't there? With handwriting, they don't even do cursive. I just earlier
Well,
today posted a thing where some black people were teaching cursive writing. They were
mhm.
giving away classes on that to teach all the kids the cursive because they're not teaching it in school anymore. How do
I
you
saw
spell
that, the husband and the
what's
wife.
your
Well,
name?
you know why they're doing that, right?
Yeah. Why?
They're
Why?
doing that because they don't want you to be able to read our founding documents.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
It's the same way it is in China. China has so many characters. It's got like 30 something thousand characters or more. And the basic people in the population, you need at least 3,000 characters to read the paper. So most people don't know all of those characters. You got to go to special schooling and stuff for that. So usually you'll be some sort of a high level bureaucrat that understands that stuff. It's the
You have to
same thing.
be part of the party to even vote. You can't vote unless you're in that party, the
So
Communist Party.
this is part of what we're seeing right here happen. They're trying to limit the ability of the population to read and write so that they can control everything and keep it in their very segmented, siloed groups. That's what it is. It's about power and control. Like it's none of this is by mistake. It's all intentional.
Yeah, I agree. It's part of their overall plan of one globalist government.
Exactly that.
They're totally. Somebody asked how many people are running for the positions, the 5 positions.
So there are 5 that are on the Democrat line, and I believe there are 2 or 3 that are on the working families line. I will be on the conservative line, so that makes about 9 of us altogether, I want to say.
In
There
5
might
different
be,
spots.
yeah, I think there might be somebody running as a Green Party person. They got an independent
Now,
line
some
for
of
the
those
Green.
working party ones, those are communist, really.
Yes, yes.
But they'll take
But
some of the votes from the Democrats. So by splitting the vote, will that help you get in?
well, we don't know if they'll take enough from them, right?
Hmm.
So that's the big thing. And the two of them, like I said, that are the open socialists that just won, are on the working family party line also.
Also, they might be
But-
part of that 5.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
So that's a bit of an issue. But Lord willing, with the Lord's grace and any help that any of you guys that are watching can provide, if you can donate, even if you're not local, Marcus, the number 4, Rochester.com.
Share your
Help me in
stuff.
this fight.
Follow them on Twitter. I'm going to bring up your page for that.
Yes,
I can
please,
do that right now.
please
they can
share
see
my.
it. Go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Please share my videos and my content on Facebook, on X, wherever you find me. Marcus C. Williams, you'll find me online. So Marcus for Rochester is my X. You'll see it at Marcus the number 4 ROC. You'll also find me on Facebook. It's Marcus C. Williams
For Rochester.
for Rochester. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So find me,
Rochester, New
follow
York,
me.
for those who are
Mhm.
watching overseas here. So people overseas cannot donate, FYI. for those might wonder. I've had that question before when I've had other
Mhm.
candidates on. You can't give money from on it unless you're an American citizen. You can, even if you're over there. They can, but not here, and this and that. So, what do they have? Just one balloon thing? There's no primary beforehand. The
So the
elimination
primary
before.
is over. It was only the Democrats had a primary, and now we're in full campaign mode for the general election.
Oh, did that knock off some of the Democrats?
Yeah, there were like 18 of them.
Actually, it would have been better if all 18 were in and you did one large thing because that would have split the vote somewhat. I think for the general.
Hmm.
My thinking and this and
I
that.
don't know if it would have been enough, but um, I don't know if it would have been enough. But I'm glad that it is where it is right now. It gives me a good opportunity to seize on that, and I think that we can take that and
Is,
do a lot with it because it's
um,
less people. It's still 10 people running, like I was saying.
yeah. Is there going to be any debates?
No,
You're
they
not-
don't want to debate,
Wow.
and they because if they debate every time they debate, I eat their food.
Yeah.
Like
They've lost, huh?
yeah, I go at them hard, and it doesn't care because I don't care what they think or what they want to look or how good they want to look. My job is to represent the citizens and the best interests of the people. Okay. And they don't have that at heart. So I'll challenge them directly to their face over their policies, over their issues. And I always, 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 always present real, tangible
Facts.
solution. Yeah.
Facts. Yeah.
I'm not about that life where you just complain about something. I'm about that solution life. Now, and matter of fact, if you go on my website, since you got the website up,
All right.
go to
Okay.
hit the menu at the top.
Oh,
Oh,
the
you're
other one.
on. No, yeah, the other
Yeah,
one.
I thought you meant the other one. Okay.
Yeah, no.
There.
Hit the menu at the top right there. Okay, you
Yep.
see over there where it says building our future? Click that. So in the building our future section, it shows a whole bunch of different plans that I have
Mhm.
for some things that are actually tangible and implementable. So if you click one,
This is important in Rochester, the energy thing, the RG and stuff like that. That
Mhm,
because we have some pretty cold winters here.
that's right. And they're trying to push all of this. They want a non-governmental, what would you call it, energy provider. Essentially, what they're saying that they want
The
is
government's controlling.
they want the government to control it. They want a public utility, but they don't want a public utility. These
Oh,
people that are running it, these Metro Justice people, these DSA people, Democrat Socialists of America, they don't want a public utility. I was at an event with these crazy cuckoos the other. I shouldn't call them that. That's disrespectful
I
to
would
cuckoo.
agree with you
You
though.
know,
They
I,
are crazy.
yeah, right? Well, I don't want to disrespect the birds. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. They're crazy though.
They are. Well, but the thing is they were like, oh yeah, well, we want to make it a nonprofit. But the thing is we want to be able to be the ones that run it. Well, hold on. You want it to be a nonprofit. A nonprofit is not a public utility. And then you're saying you want to put all your people on the board? I smell the grift when it's there. You know what I'm saying? That smells funky.
Did you see what happened in in New York City who wants to run government stores, right? Grocery stores. Did you
They'll
see what
try to
happened
put
in
that
Kansas
here.
City? They did that, and there's like
Mm-hmm.
nothing on the shelves.
Yep.
Nothing on the shelves. Nothing gets done because you're guaranteed a government job. They don't do their job. You know what I mean? So,
Well,
for one, two, suppliers don't want to supply to them because they don't get paid for it most of the time. That's whatever the government wages. It's sort of like our Medicaid and Medicare. It's all failing in this state because they've been putting so many illegals on it.
well, look at this. They've cut Medicaid twice under Kathy Hochul, a Democrat. All of the
Hmm.
Democrats voted for them to cut Medicaid twice
Hmm.
in New York State. But can we talk about that? But no, they want you to focus on the federal level.
But they'll keep putting illegals on it without
Oh
telling
yeah, they'll put
people.
what I tell you earlier, $3.4 billion for illegals, man. If they don't get out and that's not even the money that they're sending to New York City. The bill was like another two and some change billion there.
Someone asked if
So
the city can run a deficit, and what happens if they do.
there you got to forgive me. I don't have this information 100% in memory,
Hmm.
but I know there's a
In general.
law in the charter that essentially says that we can't run a deficit or something like that.
Hmm.
Forgive me if that's not exactly how it's worded, but there are some precautions in there where we're not supposed to run a deficit. Our financials are pretty good for the city. The state is terrible, but for the city we're managing, we're not in debt in the city. The city isn't in debt, so that's a positive. We
Oh,
also
that's good.
have I believe it's a triple A credit rating, I believe. It
Well, that's
might be
good.
a double A, but
We're in
whatever it
New
is,
York
it's very
State City.
yeah,
That's good.
it's very high, and I believe we should leverage that for investments in our community.
There used to be a
So,
lot of upper middle class in our state and city area. There used to be,
hmm
and
hmm
so wow, I don't know. So, any closing arguments you want to tell everyone, or did I miss
Here's,
anything? Jobs.
well,
It really does come down to jobs and growth.
let's come down to jobs. It
Yes.
really does, and it comes down to the focused investment
Yeah.
in our community. That's
Hmm.
not happening. So here's my thing, you guys. I live in Rochester, New York. For everybody that's not from the area, our city has been controlled by the Democrats for 60 years. Okay. Everybody on city council, everybody in the mayor's office, everybody on the school board, every city court judge have all been Democrats
Some of those
for
judges are way left.
for 60 years, brother. For
Yeah.
60 years. So that means that there's nobody else from any other party to blame. They can't blame the Republicans or anybody. It strictly shows their policy and their legislation are the problem. No matter who gets into the office, the nameplate is different, but the party still owns it. So it's
Yeah.
about policy, it's about legislation. And that's why I'm running to return a focus on the community here locally, to focus on restoring sensibility and some actual common sense and put forth plans. Like everything on my website that he's showing you guys right now, all of it not only are tangible solution, it gives you the amount that it would cost. So I
Mhm.
put cost breakdowns for most of them on there as well. So I'm really about that life. This is very important to me, that our community is able to thrive and we're able to restore people's hope in our governmental system here locally. For too long, people have felt as though they've been cast aside for special interests or for private benefactors. And we need to return the focus on our citizens. That's why I'm running, because my community matters to me, because our people matter to me, because our nation matters to me. And this is not the form of representative government that our founders actually envisioned. And I'm going to push back on all of this nonsense that's going on to stand up for our city and for the people here that are citizens.
Yeah, especially the crime. The 60 years ever since then. If you had a chart, I bet you it's gone downhill. A lot of businesses have left since then.
Straight into the ground. Straight into the ground. They've legitimately run it straight into the ground. And it's a serious problem. And we need to identify that it's policies and legislation, but also it's this one party rule.
Yeah, I'll still blame
Because
Trump.
Mhm.
What have you got to lose, right? You've been voting that way the whole time, right?
Right,
So
right.
is your family all switched to parties, or they?
No, most of them are my family that's in the area are Democrats, so which is crazy because I mean some of them shouldn't be, let me rephrase that. All of them definitely shouldn't be Democrat. A couple of them are independent, but all of them definitely shouldn't be Democrat. And there's one that's like a very avid Democrat, and I don't understand how they believe what they believe, and they're still a Democrat. It doesn't make sense to me. But
Mm,
that's the work that needs to be done, changing hearts and minds and winning them slowly but surely. And people are becoming more accustomed to Republicans and being conservative in our city. So now is the time that I'm working on pushing real sensible stuff so people see that they have a serious alternative.
Somebody asked you how it works with that, the voting for you vote for 5 people, right? You don't vote for just one of the things. You vote for 5 people, and as long as you're one of the
Hey,
5, that's the, the,
hey,
the
I encourage you to bullet vote just for me. You don't even have to vote for anybody else, okay?
well, that would help. Yeah,
But
well, that helps
but if
them from getting. Don't vote for the
e-
socialists, please. You don't need any
exactly.
more because they could win and then move up. So someone else a while back, I forgot to ask you, are you going to go for a higher office eventually?
Maybe if it's the will of the people,
Hmm.
we'll see. We'll also see how long they try to keep me in office because I don't know how many terms they're going to want me in because I'll be too popular with the people and
Yeah,
not so much not so
they'll
much with the
campaign against you.
political people.
They're saying that you must debate them. They should have a debate with all of you.
They
PBS
should.
or no one's going to do that stuff, huh?
No, no, because that's too much like right. Why would they do that? And then they don't even have debates on the TV anymore. It's one person says something, and they only want you to answer questions and stuff like that. It's
No,
ridiculous.
there's inference in the questions too that they're like left wing questions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but the media
That's what
totally.
they did at the other thing that I was at that I just told you about with those socialists. So, but I didn't pull any punches there.
Maybe we should
Then
get
they,
you and a few of the other candidates on, and we'll try to do a debate here or something, or something. You said there's a couple other Republicans in the race. Maybe they
no,
could
no,
both.
no. I'm the only one.
Oh, you're the only
Just me.
one left. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Just me. So it's all Democrats and Working Families Party aside from myself.
What I should do is you could play both parts. You could play the Democrats' answer and then your own answer and everything like that. Well, God bless you for what you're doing. Let me know if you're going to have events. Maybe I can come out to a couple and go live at them if that helps you at all. I don't know. It might or maybe not.
Sure, brother. You're always welcome at any of my stuff.
Yeah. I don't always see it because I'm on 31 platforms, so I almost
Yeah.
need a message sent to me to know really for sure. Okay.
So I'll keep you posted, good brother, and I'll let you know. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I really appreciate you.
All
So
right.
if you're stateside, please go donate. Marcus, the number 4, Rochester.com.
Definitely. And if you know anyone in the area, get them to vote for you and stuff like that. All right.
And please share my content. It's very helpful.
Yes, it is. The name recognition, I swear that helps. When they get in there,
Mhm.
they'll vote for someone they know, even if they don't like them, or versus someone they don't know. Totally.
Right.
All
So it's
right.
about getting the word out. Mhm.
God bless everyone. See you all soon. Take care. Bye bye. I got to end this.